get access to capital.
Take a listen to Bill O'Reilly last night. He's been fired up on the race debate. Last night he was talking to Marc Morial, one of the leaders in the African-American movement community. Listen.
We both want the same thing. You and I want the same thing. We want civility, we want safety, and we want prosperity for all Americans, particularly those
Absolutely.
who are disadvantaged. But I'm telling you that there is a hustle going on in the civil rights industry. There's a grievance industry that makes a lot of money off division, and it's not being challenged by anybody but me. And I'm taking a lot of heat from
Bill,
doing it. Last word.
Bill, let me say this. Americans do have an opportunity to express themselves, to express their grievances against the government, against the nation. But we also have a responsibility to work to find common ground. You and I need to talk more, because I'm sure we can find common ground, because I think when people talk, they can find common ground if we agree.
A lot of people dying while the chatting's going on, Mr. Morial. And we appreciate you coming on, and you're welcome anytime you want to come on this broadcast.
All right, Bob.
Well, me,
He's the only one talking about it, Bob. He's the only one.
Bill to know that I just can't be more excited at the fact that he's taking this on all by himself. Look, Bill O'Reilly doesn't know anything more about being in the black community than anybody who's never been there.
But he doesn't have to be.
I don't think
what he was saying.
Listen, he said there was a hustle. He said there was a hustle in the race community, and that is.
Let's go back to the night before,
business, yeah.
when he did his talking points memo, which ended up being one of the most watched talking points memos ever, one of the most popular ones, one that's most talked about. What he did from his platform, which is considerable, is he said, all right, I'll be the one who says some of the things that are uncomfortable to say in polite society that you don't want to necessarily bring up. And I think what he did on that night was very successful. And then Marc Morial, good point. Let's get together and talk about it some more. And what I think O'Reilly did was, when he ripped the Band-Aid off, expose the sore underneath.
Then at the end, he said to Morial, we'll talk and people die. I mean, why doesn't he say that?
No, that's not what he said. He said, while we're talking, all of these young black Americans are dying in the urban centers because the policies we've had in place are not working, and that needs to be changed.
Can I just point something out that Bill O'Reilly pointed out? And just you talk about what's going on. We've been talking about this for a long time. President Obama injected race into the argument, into the debate. He injected it where it wasn't there, according to Trayvon Martin's family, according to the state prosecutor, according to the defense. That trial wasn't about race. President Obama and Eric Holder brought it in. So Bill O'Reilly, let me summarize it, I hope I'm not wrong, said instead of doing that, how about lead out of it? Don't inject more into it. Lead out of the race debate.
What it did was trigger a debate on race that we have not been willing to have in this country.
But why? Okay, you're right. Why? Because every time somebody says we need to have a conversation about race, the translation is we must agree with you about it. If you were to talk about families and self-reliance, that's construed as racist. Expecting normal behavior is construed as bigoted by hucksters who make a living off this kind of hysteria.
And Bob, people are... they're scared, and it's not just people who are not black. There's people in the black community that are scared to speak up because they don't want to get Bill Cosby'd. Juan Williams, our co-host here on The Five, penned an excellent editorial echoing what Bill O'Reilly said, gave great advice not just for blacks, for whites, for Hispanics, for everybody. Stay in school, wait to get married, don't have kids out of wedlock. It's the fastest path to poverty. And again, Eric Holder and Barack Obama, they have had every opportunity afforded to them. President Obama's father, his black father left him when he was 2 years old. His white mother raised him. He had every opportunity to go to school, yet he identifies with his father. He has an opportunity to step up as a role model because he is one, and he should, and he's missing his moment.
He understands what it's like to be a black man in America at certain times. The undercurrent of racism.
That time
not
has
overtly
passed,
there, but
Bob.
no, it has not.
That time has passed.
It's not.
Yes, it has.
We're going to leave it there.